Alrighty, we are live. Waiting for some people to get on TikTok. Let me put my live on my YouTube chat on the iPad. And today I think, let's wait for more people to get in the chat, if they even get on. Today I think we're gonna back test, just looking at how much the 4 hour and the daily, guessing where it's gonna go and how that can just play out in your favor. That's what I'm gonna back test today. Let's see. All right, we've got some people coming on the live. I'm just putting on the chat on YouTube. Give me a second. But yeah, I just want to back test looking at the daily. Hey, what's up? Just looking at the daily, looking at the 4 hour, and looking at how you can just use that to know where the market's going to go, and it will drastically increase your win rate, which is funny because I definitely was hating a daily bias ass bitch. But technically, it's not really daily bias. It is daily bias, but some people are like, overall we're down, overall we're going up. But it's just more so in the sense of where does the daily candle want to go today? And then that's it. That is it. And where does the 4 hour candle want to go? So that's what we did. This is our last trade. We want to go down out of this fair value gap. That's it. A down day for our 10 a.m. candle. And that's what we're going to back test tonight. That's all you need to do every morning. You even can just sit on this chart and look, and you just need to catch a piece of the move. So let's go to the next New York session. We're going to mark 10 a.m. What does it look like we want to do? We did come up now, and we look like we're still in the range of this gap. So we either need to come back up and go below it, or if we want to go higher. So our options are here on the daily and here on the daily. On the 4 hour, we do have a nice wick here, like we want to go higher, but just wait for a reaction off of the charts. And all you need is a little piece of it. Again, this is the 9. This is a 6 to 10 candle. So even if you're unsure for sure, wait till 10 o'clock and it'll show you. Okay, boom. This is a sign that we want to go up on both. So you would just go on the lower time frame, get an entry, and you might have to mark another liquidity point on the lower time frame because it might not go to this daily high. That's what you use the lower time frame for. Let's see how this plays out for you. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Okay, but this was a nasty fucking candle. It wicked all the way down here and then ran up. So it's giving this is a 4 hour candle, what I'm saying. This is 4 hours, now this is 2 p.m. It's giving what we got, because like I said, I traded at the beginning of the 10 a.m. candle. We got a liquidity sweep, and then we ran down first. That's what it looked like it did at 10 o'clock. So let's go to the entire time frame. And was it the 15 minute? Actually, no. Yeah, we just should have waited. Our bias was stronger. This isn't that good of a move at all on the 15 minute. I mean, on the 15 minute, that is a decent move. Did we sweep any liquidity? No, not really, actually. We wicked down. Let's see on maybe the 5 minute it looked better. If not, it was just like I said, we waited for our entry back up. Yeah, this is not that great. It didn't even go to sell side. So I'm trying to see if it gave us like a breaker or something to get into. Let's go back in the 15 minute. We do have this bullish gap on the 15 minute. So that would have been probably our sign to wait for the candle close back above this gap. And we would have just traded around 1 or not have a trade today. So afternoon traders ate, we either would have maybe wanted to get this little, I don't like either of these moves, the 9:30 or the 10. I like this move better. Let's see if it keeps running a little more till we'll mark 4 o'clock. Because you can trade till 5, but I like to get out a little earlier. Let's see if it keeps pushing a little higher for you. Or does it reverse? Okay, yeah, it does go a little higher. So, I mean, this probably did, yeah, we just wouldn't have traded. But we still see how we came in versus on the daily. It came in and wicked on the daily candle, and then it's pushing to this high. Like I said, usually the day, it might not go to these highs. You have to find a high. It went to these equal highs, but it's still not that good of a risk to reward unless you have tight stop loss. This is not a bad trade for a 1 to 2.5. Was there another liquidity point we could have targeted? There's one here, these equal highs here. Yeah, you could have done that. You wouldn't have known to take it much higher than that. But that could have been a trade for a 1 to 2. Once we got a candle close at this 15-minute bullish for buy gap. But as you see how the 4 hour, you just need to catch where it's going to go in the daily chart in the direction. And you just look for buys. So that's why some people have a bias, and it helps you because that kind of would have faked a lot of us out, honestly. But if we would have stayed on the 15-minute chart, I think, or let's even see what the 30-minute look like. Yeah, we would have just waited for it to inverse. And honestly, on the 30-minute, we got... Oh, no, the entry was worse than the 30-minute because we got... The candle is here. No, on the 30-minute, we might have got a better entry. Let's see. On the 30-minute, the inversion is here. No, yeah, your entry should have been up here if you waited for the candle close. Or you could have gotten in the middle of this candle after you're confident in your buys. You could have gotten in the middle of this candle somewhere for maybe a better entry. So that's fine. So your bias would have helped you this day, but obviously if you stay on a higher time frame, you wouldn't get in until the candle closed below this gap, and it did not. It almost did. So that's why you wait for candle closes. It almost did. It wicked. It did not candle close below this gap for you to get in sells. It came back. It closed above here for buys. You could have just took it to this next liquidity point, or even had like a tighter stop loss or something like that. Well, make sure to see that stop loss is kind of low because this could almost stop you out depending on how high if your stop loss is like this candle stopped you out and went your way. So not the best price action, but you see how like the 4 hour and the daily really just show you like where you want it to go, and you just want to catch it at 10 a.m. That's literally it. And once I added that, it drastically decreased my losses. Staying on a higher time frame as well. Let's go to the next day. Daily 4 hour, and that's it. It's first of all, even if you just YOLO guess, you already have a 50% chance, which is not the best percent, but it's a good percentage. I think, in my opinion, it's not the worst percentage. Next New York session, because again, overnight. Okay, I think again we're still pushing to these highs. We do have a gap here though, if it wants to come down into it on the daily, because so that could be the target. It could come down first before going to these highs. So if it's a down day, we're going down to this gap to fill it a little bit. If it's up day, we're going to these highs. All right, 10 o'clock. Boom. And then on the 4 hour, we do have a little gap here that we already respected. And then we have one here that we already respected. So then that gives us that, and I know people are like, why do you need this? Number one, these are bullish. If you don't know if it's going up or down yet, if it closes below this gap, we are bearish. We're going low. If it bounces and keeps going higher, like it has on all these, bounce, gone higher, bounce, gone higher. Honestly, we probably could have marked this gap yesterday, actually, because you saw how it wicked all the way down, and like it wicked down to almost fake people out. This was the candle yesterday. It tapped into this gap, so that was my fault for not marking that on the previous day. Let's see if I can go back to that day. On the 15-minute, yeah, that fake out that we got. So honestly, you could have had a limit order set right at the top of this gap. I don't know where your stop loss would have been, because this is, you know, a big little move, low key. But you could just have a market order or limit order set stop loss there, I guess, and then take it to that high that we had for a nice 1 to 3. So yeah, always mark your gaps on the 4 hour, because also that's what Key Flow Trades talks about. He said he likes his 4 hour 10 a.m. chart to always tap into a gap or something. So we're already in one, which is the problem. But let's see if we stay in it, go higher, go lower, whatever. But this was a nice actual move into this gap that I should have marked yesterday. There technically is a breaker block thing going on here too as well. But let's just see what this, especially because the good part is like whatever this candle closes, like this is getting signs to buy right at 10 o'clock. Like we did on Friday, it made so much money. See, get in right at 10 o'clock. Boom. I mean, let's see if there's another liquidity point on the 15-minute though. Because some days, like I said, the daily is... No, that's a straight shot. We already passed this. So it's looking like on the 15-minute, straight shot up to the top. I don't know if we'll get there, but let's see if it does. Let's see if it does. There is a big ass 15-minute gap here. If it wants to come out, come back down into it. So maybe have your stop loss at the bottom of the candle, which I personally don't like to do, but let's see how far we go up. Oh yeah, we're definitely hitting those highs on the daily. What time is it? Because we gotta make sure we mark before 5 o'clock, because a lot of us are trading on funded accounts. I always do 4. So let's see how high we get. And boom, all day trade, which sucks, but great trade. Or if you were tired, you know, take your profit wherever you want it at. This is it. This is all you gotta do. Like the 4 hour. Hello, is this ninja trading? No, this is FX Replay, the backtesting service. But you see how you just have options. You know where the market wants to kind of go. You mark options just in case. Like I said, if you want to go down, once we inverse that, we're going down. You see what I'm saying? And you just play off a move. Especially if you get in after a displacement, you're Gucci. You're gonna have minimum. You're gonna have minimum drawdown, which is the key. Minimum drawdown is the key. How can I do this? You just go to fxreplay.com, and then you have a 7-day free trial, and then it's $35 a month after that. Options trading? No. Futures trading. These are the NASDAQ futures, not options trading. And we're just back testing right now. So yeah, this is all you need. Like the 4 hour, you really technically only need the 4 hour. Looking forward to the Fed rate this month. Same. You only really need the 4 hour, but the daily really helps because, or there are just days where the 4 hour and the daily are so clear. Like yesterday. I mean, yesterday was such a beautiful trading day. But yeah, you just get on, and like I said, I'm only trying to catch the beginning of this 10 hour, this 10 a.m. 4 hour candle. Like that's all you need. From the 4 hour, this was one of those days it was obvious, and that's the good part about trading at 10, because the 9:30 open will push this candle wherever direction it wants to be. Like see how we were at this fair value gap? If we were going down, this 9:30 candle would have pushed red, and then we'd have been like, boom, we're in sales. You see what I'm saying? And we already expected this one twice. You would expect this one to get inverse, and then you would get in a trade somewhere halfway in between this gap or wherever you want it for your good risk to reward. But beautiful fucking trade, a beautiful analysis. Like this is all you need for real. It's all you need. I know someone was like, "Oh, this is too complicated." It's really not. It's just this is not a stock. This is NQ futures, or I mean, technically it's the QQQ stock. Do you have a course or what, so we can join and trade together? I'm gonna start a Discord, I think in like November. I don't have a course. You can book a one-on-one with me, but we will just do this. And then I do live trade though for free right now. I live trade on TikTok, on here, and on YouTube. So you can trade with me every day for free for the next 2 months. And then I'll probably get a Discord in a little bit. But this is QQQ stock technically, or just NQ futures, or it's also US 30 if you're a Forex trader, the same. Okay, we're on the next day. So this is what I'm talking about, where days where it's not clear. We already ran up yesterday. Today we have swept these highs. We do have a red candle, but like it's indecisive where we want to go. We're just like, we pull back a little bit, we can go higher. We already swept this liquidity, so I'm not gonna mark it, just so you know, like we already swept the daily high. Is there a gap? We already inversed the gap. So the next high on the daily is here. And then, but we do have a high on the 4 hour. I'll mark it internally in case we're going to come up and reverse on it. Like we're already up here, we can go. And then we do have, again, another fair value gap that we could come down and bounce out of. So you just mark your options, okay? You mark your options and then you wait to see what you want to do. But yes, I do live trade for free, so y'all can join here. Do you do this full time? I do. What date is this replay? This replay is March 21st, 2022 on a Monday. I did 2023 already. We did it on live already. I do this full time. I quit my job for this. But I also work in film, so I don't want to just get people to be like, hey, quit your job. Also, I've been an investor for a long time. So I'm living off of the investments. I haven't really made much money with this yet, but I'm actually I'm now making money. Like I just hit that profitability point, which is so nice. Keep up the good work. Thank you so much. Yeah, like I'm just hitting that mark, which is great. That's why I said I don't want to charge for Discord yet, but I'm in like, by the end of like October, November, I'll probably have made a nice like 5 to 10K. So then I'll start like having like a cheap Discord, or my lives would be like $5 or I don't know what I'm gonna do yet. I don't want to be scammy about it, but technically, to me, it's not scammy though when people sell courses or do Discords, because you're still trading off their ideas. But I get it when it's weird when people are just like not profitable yet. But anyway, see if we sweep and run down. Let's see if we sweep to continue higher. So far, it's looking like on the daily we do want to go higher, but again, the daily is the all day and we only trade 2 hours. Look at that. I told you the 9 candle, that 9:30 New York Open is going to tell you everything you need, and then you just react off of it later. Because sometimes the 9:30 will fake you out when you're watching it on like a lower time frame. Boom. So this is a sign where I probably would, we do have a little gap here too actually. I would probably get in sales immediately after and take them, I don't know, somewhere in this gap. We're about to inverse the gap already. 4 hour liquidity though is way down here. I don't know if we'll go to there, but let's just see how it plays out. Okay, boom. 10 o'clock, you're already in sales. How far will you go? Let's see. Let's do a 1 to 2. Boom. Let's see if it goes down there. It could not. It could just be reversed to bounce off this gap, like I said. But also, that's still a good trade here to here. Wherever the candle went, that's a good trade. Your stop loss might have been tighter on a smaller time frame. But let's see if we had something on the 15-minute to tell us, like, no, we're going higher. Actually, that's not a good of a move at all. So basically, we're bouncing. Well, let's see how it plays out. Let's see how it plays out. Obviously, I'm just seeing how it looks like on the 4 hour, but we'll see how the candle actually closes. Okay, close green. So it really came down to this fair value gap and pushed up. We inverted this one, and I've said this many times as well. If there's 2 fair value gaps like this and one gets inverse, you have to kind of wait for it to inverse the second one, because it can inverse this one obviously to go to this one and then push your way. So you could have had a limit order set in this gap to go higher, to take it to these highs. It did sweep these highs, so this just means the 9:30 traders, that was their trade. They got in at 9:30, see the 9:30 candle, liquidity sweep sells to some liquidity point in here. That was their trade, that was not for us. And that's just what that means. Because this little small move isn't worth it. But and honestly, now I'm zoomed in, that really wasn't worth it either. 9:30 traders like that, but I've always said that too. That's why I like trading at 10, because your 10 a.m. trade will still be bigger than your 9:30 trade. So now we're going back up to take out what liquidity point? The one we made at 9:30. Is it going to take it? Oof, it's not taking it. Okay, well, this is the day we would have lost, because you're not going to win them all. So technically, our sells were right. Our stop loss was too tight. Weren't we in a sell trade? We were. Stop loss was too tight. Bounced off this. My stop loss was like above this candle. If I would have did it. But this is also a fucking ridiculous stop loss. This is so stupid. So I would not do a stop loss that big either. So you would have just had to get in. You would have to just take that small loss, honestly, and then get back in. And when you get back in on an inverted fair value gap, which is here. So as soon as this candle closes, you're getting back in. if you wanted it. So you would have made your losses, you would have made your money back though. Or, you know, you just would have took a loss and not traded it. Because there's no strategy that's 100%. So that's the thing about trading, because you can let a loss mentally and emotionally fuck you up when a loss is just due to happen. And I've done that before. And this is just all shitty price action, honestly. Not the shittiest, but it's just trading sideways. So you could have caught this 930 move. I guess you could have caught this move. It didn't come up to here. It just came up to there. This move, it went down to the lows we made before, which is not that great either. But let's see if it still just continues down. It could continue down. But I feel like we're about to be at the end of the day. Yeah, so this is the day that we would have just lost or took scalps. Like, once it reversed on us on this first trade, we probably just would have sold for a small gain and maybe been done. Maybe got back in, but either would have took a loss today. But yeah, losses are part of trading. No strategy is 100%. I told you what date it is. Monday, March 22nd, 2022. I said that already. This is 2022 March. So yeah, emotions can fuck you up. You have one loss and you're like, fuck, I can't do this. And then it's just the first loss you've had in 2 weeks. Because I do that sometimes. I don't like to take a loss like ever. Especially on my eval account. Because then it's longer for me to get funded. Versus on a regular account, I don't care. Because I know my losses are way less than my wins. But on a funded account, I like to take 0 losses. Like I took 1 in like 2 weeks. And it like messed me up. And I revenge traded and took like an extra loss on the same day. But I do my losses per day, not per trade. Because I take a few trades per day. But yeah, this is May. Now we're on March 22nd, 2022. For whoever keeps asking, what date is this? So yeah, I just do every year. I did 2023 until we got to 2024. And look at it, it was an indecisive day anyway. When a candle has one skinny body, just indecisive. So it's just an indecisive day. You're going to have those, and then we'll know like either just not to trade that, scalp it, or whatever. Lesson learned. But right now, we're still indecisive, looks like. So we're still just let's just mark the top body of this candle. And let's mark the low body of this candle. I mean, this could also be a CRT range for the CRT traders. We could be sweeping the high to come back in the range to take out the lows. I don't know if that's going to happen. Again, we bounced out of that fair value gap yesterday. Took out those highs overnight. So let's just fucking see. 10 a.m. And sometimes if you're not sure, just wait. Wait to see what it's going to do. This is giving signs of, this is giving signs we want to continue higher. Nice candle close above all these. You could have got in right at 10 o'clock. I don't know if there's another high we could target. Oh yeah, there's a few highs up here if you want them. I don't know which one we're going to get. I always have my take profit at the first one, but I mark all 3, and then I'm usually right every time, and I didn't hold it, and I'm kind of mad at myself, but whatever. Obviously, don't set your entries like this on the 4-hour chart. You're not doing this in real life. This is replay, so I'm like, oh, let's see. First one, hit. Second one, hit. Third, hit. See, sometimes you might just have to hold them. I don't hold because when I go back on my live account, I trade 1 micro, so I have to pick one. I usually do the second one. If there's 3, I do the middle one. Once I get to multiple TPs again, I will do multiple TPs, like 1 here, 1 here, 1 here. But for now, I do 1 contract, so I have to pick, which most of us are if we're trading a small account. So you got to do 1. You got to pick 1. But you see how that happened? Look at that. No drawdown when we got in. We got in at 10 o'clock. No drawdown at all. That's what you want. This is what you can full port your funded account with and get funded in 1 trade. 40 days. That's what's up. New here. I got some checking up to do. You do, but you got it. But yeah, so this is what you do. So this is a trade. Yeah, you could have full ported this and got funded on my funded features or Apex in 1 fucking trade. You don't want drawdown like this. You want this. Beautiful. And how do we get that? On the daily. That's it. And that's that 4-hour fire gap happened to yesterday. Boom. That 9 a.m. New York Open showed us we were pushing higher. all you need is to catch this big 4-hour candle. And that's only what? We're only, what, an hour into it? You didn't have to trade that long. Yeah, it's a 4-hour candle, but you're usually done in like 20, 30, 40 minutes. Like I traded 30 minutes on Friday, $800. I took one 30-minute candle. That was it. Obviously, do not enter on the 4-hour chart. This obviously looked beautiful. It's not going to be like that all the time, like this day was. Because you want to go down the 15-minute and see some... I mean, this is an obvious day. Like, there's no 15-minute fair value gap to inverse or whatever. It was just an obvious buy immediately. So your stop loss would be like here. Actually, our stop loss was better on the 4-hour chart. But, you know, just something like that for a 1 to 3 almost. And it could keep on going. Nice candle. And that's it. That's really it, y'all. Once I incorporated this, but I don't, it's not like, for me, I don't like daily bias, but technically this is daily bias, but it's more so just like, you still letting the candle start, or you're letting at least the 9:30 candle tell you. I don't go in like looking at the monthly, looking at the weekly, the daily, we're up. Because that candle did look indecisive before we got on the chart, because that's what candles are going to look like in real time. They're going to play out in real time. Like, they're not going to be, like, this is not done yet. Once we hit play, it will play out for us, and then we'll see how far it's done or not. So you can't just come on the chart and be like, hey, we're bullish or buy. Like, you know, like people do, but to me, because then you start, well, for me, I start just looking at buys only, sells only. But like I said, now we can do that because we're only looking at this next candle. We're only guessing the next one candle. That is it. We don't need to guess where the day is going to end. We don't need to guess like what lows we're taking out at the end of the week. We don't give a shit about none of that. We're guessing, where's this next candle going to go? Is it going to go? It can even just go to here. I just want to play that trade to there. That's all we're looking at. Okay, so this 4-hour gap. We swept this liquidity, so we could reverse. So we want to inverse this gap. We want this 9:30 candle to close below this gap. If we want it on the daily, we swept this highs as well. We technically still could go higher on the daily, but I don't know. This low for CRT is here. If that's our target, our first target after we inverse, and then the next one is this low there. So let's see. All right, that's, see, you have to wait for the wick. I mean, the candle, the body of the candle to close below this gap. Oof. It closed right at it, so you might have to wait for this candle to play out a little bit. Let's see if there's like a 15-minute gap we can react off of, because it kind of didn't close out of the gap. Okay, well, we have another 15-minute one that lines up with it, so you might have to wait for it to close below this one to be extra sure. So this one was the first one, and then this is the 15-minute one. It's like a few ticks below it. This is the 4-hour one. This is the 15-minute one. So you want to wait. See, candle close. You need a candle close below the gap, not just a wick. Boom. So now this is the 15-minute candle. I still want it to candle close out of this gap, because it could just be tapping into this fair value gap here to reverse. You know what I'm saying? This is a red one now. You're not sure. I need y'all to see that. We're still not sure in the bias. This is a nice displacement candle. We're not sure, because this is, again, a 4-hour fair value gap, a high time frame. It can still come up here and respect it. It can still come up here and go lower. So we want to wait for a full candle close out of it. You can even wait for a candle close out of this red gap if you want it. We do have equal highs and another high here, so it is looking like it wants to go up, but you want to wait a little bit. That's why you come down to a 15-minute chart, because now this is not a 4-hour chart anymore. You don't have to wait 4 hours. You need to come down to a 30-minute, of 15, something like that. Not a 5 though, because you can get faked out. A 15-minute or something. Because you want to wait. See, it came up to here, and now it wants to go down. So you still want to wait, because now you need to cancel close below here still. This is a lot of range, but it's not big enough for you to trade in, so you can get faked out. We do have now a new green gap on the 15-minute that could be inversed. So this one's done. This lower one we made. This is the new one. We have this new one now. That once we candle close above that on the 15-minute, then you can get in sales. and it respected it. See how it's just bouncing in these gaps? It's respecting every gap. It touched that 15-minute one, bounced out. Touched this 15-minute one, bounced out. Touched this one, bounced out. We still don't know a direction. So you could easily got faked out by all these trades. We need some candle closes. We don't need any wicks. We need some candle closes. This could be a good sign for up. This is the most recent fair value gap made after 10 o'clock. This could be your sign to, hey, we want to go higher. But again, let's wait. I mean, this also is the candle close out of this green gap. Boom. Now you're in. Now you're in some buys. You want to wait for confirmation. See what I'm saying? How like everyone's like, oh, daily bias. But like, daily bias, up or down, if you got in too soon, you were faked out. You were destroyed. This is not the best trade though. Do we have another liquidity point we can go to? If not, you can just take, it's just a day where you take your little, I mean, with a tight stop loss, it's a nice 1 to 2, but this move isn't as big as other moves are. Oof. Well, was that news? No, it wasn't. So this was a prime example I'm talking about, how first liquidity point always hits. The second and third one might not hit all the time. It still could hit, and we just had tight stop loss. No, we did not. Liquidity sweep, turtle soup to go to the downside. But we made our money if we had our take profit here. And that's what I be talking about as beginners. I know we get obsessed with, oh, fuck, I could have let it run. But as beginners, this candle would have made us shit our pants. So you want to just take your money. I'd rather take my money than have a loss any day. I don't care if it's $10, $5, whatever. You trade ICT concepts? I do. I'm an ICT trader to the T. He has changed my life. But it's just fair value gaps and liquidity points. That's it. Do you do crypto? I do not. Only futures. If you do crypto, good for you because you can trade on the weekends. I'm in a group chat with traders and someone's in ETH right now. Let's just see how this plays out. Obviously, I don't trade afternoon, but this is a good turtle soup trade, though. But if it doesn't go down to this liquidity point, it's actually not a good trade. So let's see. Let's see how this day finishes out. We'd be off the charts already. We would have took our money, got that little scalpiana. We're done. If you would have played off this, you would have had a better trade, yes. Because I was going to say, technically, for me, I like to wait till we're for sure because, like I said, we're still bouncing in this range. However, this is a 15-minute gap made recently in this bullish gap. We have a 4-hour bullish gap, a 15-minute bullish gap. We did respect this gap here to tap us in for an entry, and then it went to our liquidity point. So two bullish gaps for the upside, and it taps one and reacts off of it is a good sign. It's not a for sure sign, but if you want to risk it, it's a good risk to risk, I would say. But then your stop loss is honestly kind of bigger than it was before. But you did get a better move than me up here. And then obviously if you're a real ballsy and you got in here, you got a good trade. And if you're super duper ballsy and you got in, you know, somewhere in the middle of this 10 a.m. displacement candle, good for you. That's a gamble though, I'm not gonna lie to you. Because it was ping ponging all up in here. But if we had strong bias, if you had a strong bias of buys and you played on that, your bias worked out for you. But I don't like to go with the bias. Like I said, I'm a reactive trader. People are still making $3,000 a day. So how are you going to tell me? Tell you what? I didn't tell you anything. People are still making $3,000 a day. So how are you going to tell me? I don't know what that means. What do you mean by that? But yeah, so you kind of just want to be a reactive trader. It'll help you win a lot more than you'll lose. You know what I'm saying? You'll wait till you're sure. Again, if you want to gamble, because with this trade here, your stop loss was really nice for your risk to reward. This is a gamble you can take, but you wouldn't have known this candle was going to close open green. Well, kind of. We have seen these hammer candles. These big wicks are kind of telling you, like, we want to go up. But it did still wick down a lot before it went back up. You see this green wick right there? So just be careful, you know. That's something you're just going to see with time. But it didn't stop out this low. So if you did, you would have almost got stopped out by a tick. And you would have or you would have waited for this wick and got in somewhere up here, which is the smarter move. But if you got in right at 10 o'clock, you know, do with that what you will. Can you go over US 30 or 30? US 30 is the NASDAQ, so I am going over it. I only trade futures though, so I'm going to stay on this chart. But this is FX replay, so you can do US 30. But US 30 is the NASDAQ, so the charts look the same. The numbers on the side are just going to be different. Same with whoever asked about stocks and QQQ. QQQ is the NASDAQ. The numbers just would be different. So what that means is your movement, your money, your lot size, your P&L will just move faster or slower. That's all that means. But it's the same thing. So if you trade US 30, you're trading the NASDAQ, and it moves just like this. It's an indice. So same, the chart is going to look the same. And I have to, with FX replay, you have to set the thing you're trading. So I can't, but I can go on TradingView and see. I'm pretty sure they look the same though. I'm pretty sure they're the same. Let's see. This is why we all use TradingView, because it has everything on here. Yeah, Dow Jones, same chart. The US 30 is literally the NASDAQ. Same chart. Same, obviously your numbers, so y'all are on 40 grand and we're on 19,000 or whatever. But same beautiful chart. Obviously, this is the 5 minute. Okay, obviously it's not exactly the same. It's like these candles are a little different. It's a little choppier on the futures chart. That's why a lot of people, whether they trade US 30, whether they trade options, we all watch the futures charts, I'm pretty sure. When I traded options, I watched the futures charts. And when I traded Forex for a small bit, I watched the futures ES chart, because this SPX chart on Oanda was fucking ass. Like, it just, the swing highs looked like blocky and shit. So, but yeah, US 30 is the same. Black Bull US 30. Go back to my NASDAQ. Yeah, same thing. It's the same thing. Just so y'all know. What's your weekly outlook or daily? If you're new here, I don't trade outlooks. I trade whatever is happening immediately before I get on the screen. So, I don't know. I don't care either. Obviously, we took this beautiful trade that I called as a lovely power of 3 accumulation, manipulation, distribution, and we inversed a daily fair value gap. So we inversed this fair value gap finally after trading just off of it all week. Well, we got a push down Tuesday, traded Tuesday, Thursday, Friday we pushed. So I'm thinking we're going to these lows, but like I don't have a bias. Because I just look at wherever we are in the chart at 10 a.m. the day I'm on the chart. And I think that will help a lot of y'all, because, again, as beginners, a lot of us don't even know how to change our bias once we're on the chart. So I don't like to go in with one. I look at, especially because the candle, I only trade 2 hours out of the day. So the big move can happen before I'm on the chart. The big move can happen after I'm on the chart. So me saying the daily candle is going to close bearish, but my move at 10 a.m. was bullish, it doesn't help me. But let's look at it now. The daily chart is showing us not a fucking fuck thing. So I don't know where we're going on the daily chart on this one. And on the 4 hour, this is very messy. Oh, this is the 15-minute chart. Let's go on the 4 hour chart. Yeah, this is all very messy. It's looking like we could CRT to the downside. We could be doing a little small reversal. Who knows? Let's let it play out. Let's let this 9 to 10 candle close, and then we'll know what we're doing. And we still don't know what we're doing. Look at that. Look at that. It's just a day where we don't know what we're doing. Let's see if the 15-minute shows us. Like, there's just days where the 4 hour and the daily are useless. I'm not going to lie to you. So maybe just wait for the liquidity sweep and then the reversal back up, honestly. That's what it's kind of giving. There is a 15-minute gap here. There isn't. Actually, there's a big red wick right there. I didn't even see at first. For those who can't see, there's a big red wick here. I thought this candle was a gap here. Yeah, so maybe let's just see if it just comes down, sweeps a liquidity point. We did sweep the London lows. And then we have these equal highs up here, which is not the best of a move technically. And then we do have a 15-minute gap here that has been respected once already. Yeah, this is a very indecisive day. So maybe this is the day we either just don't trade, or let's see if we... All right, liquidity sweep, pushing up. This is the 15-minute chart. It's already pushing up, so you kind of might want to go to a 5-minute chart and see if you get a trade up to the upside. We still do not. Came down, pushed. Yeah, let's see how that... You technically get an inverted fair value gap on the 5-minute that I don't like to trade too much anymore. Let's see if we take it to these highs. Tight-ish stop loss. We did get a nice wick of both liquidity points. Sometimes you will have to go all the way down to the 5-minute. You shouldn't go to the 5-minute unless you really have to. Okay, beautiful trade. This was the day, like I said, you start high, you go lower. Lately, I've been entering on the 15-minute chart, but you see how we had no confirmation of nothing. Like if you got on a 15-minute chart, you wouldn't have gotten in until this candle fully closed. So we wanted to get in. You saw how it kind of pulled up way up here, but then on the 5-minute we got an entry, and then yeah, you just do it like that. It reached all the way. I have it dropping weekly low reversal. It reached all-time highs. I have it going way down. Good for you. I hope it does. Either way, we'll play it either way. It probably will go down. It was going to a 4-hour for value gap, but like I said, it can go lower, but when I trade at 10, it might be going higher at that 10 a.m. time frame. You know what I'm saying? So, like this day, we had buys. We got a wick down, buys up, and then this day we started up here at 10, and then we played sells. Like I just go in and look at what's happening right at my little time frame. But yeah, we probably should go down. Obviously, I'm on the NASDAQ, so 17,750. There's no fair value gap here. That is the only liquidity point. So I don't know if we'll get a big daily candle like this. We could get a bunch of these first that don't do nothing for us. And then, again, we'll probably push down. So it's looking like a bearish week, y'all. And then we have a low here, and this is kind of equal lows. So I think we have a bearish week. But yeah, you see how we had to come to the 5-minute because we didn't have really much clarity, but we did mark liquidity points. It could sweep. And then what I said, we're unsure, just wait for liquidity sweep reversal. And what did we get? A 10 a.m. reversal, which was my original strategy. But some days it continues, like those days we've caught continuations. And I was like, how the fuck do I know if it's going to continue or not? Now we know. And then when you're unsure, usually you can just go back to Old Faithful, liquidity sweep reversal. And that's what we got. A beautiful fucking trade. Tapped you back in if you wanted to wait it for the fair value gap tap. Took it to these highs. Again, take it at the first level. If you wanted to take it to the second, that's kind of far. I usually would take it to a second if it's a little closer. That's a little far. And we did get a nice wick down off of that. It can still go up higher, but a good little trade. A good little trade. And that's how I trade every day. I don't go in with a bias. I don't care what the weekly, monthly is going to do. You go in and you see what happens right at 10 o'clock. You play a trade, and then you move on. That's how I trade. Keep it simple for me. Next week's going to be a week since it went down last week. We're going to have a massive drop. Let's go. Going to get rich in the bear. Let's do it. Like I said, I just trade this. Because this day, I mean... It's technically a blue candle, but this day in the afternoon session at 2 o'clock, it can run down, and then it's a bearish candle. If I was just looking for sells only, I'd be fucked. So it's just like, now if I were trading all day, I could just wait for sells or just wait for buys. But for me, I want whatever comes first, and I'm up the chart. I like a short, nice trading day. But yeah, I think we did a good amount today, y'all. Thank y'all for joining on YouTube and TikTok. I do this every night. We'll be back tomorrow. I like looking at the 4-hour, and we'll just let me know if there's anything else y'all want to see besides weekly, monthly overviews. Those are my least favorite things to do. But if y'all want to see, I don't know, S&T catches or market maker sell or buys or anything ICT, good luck. You're going to get rich. Exactly. We're all going to get rich. We are all going to get rich. We're all going to kill it. So I'll be back tomorrow, and then again, live trading on Monday. I've been killing it on Monday, trading all the things, and like I said, we'll keep back testing these concepts, If you have any questions with ICT concepts or trading concepts in general, let me know tomorrow and we'll just go over them. But I'll see y'all tomorrow.